Never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back for the final one of the evening. I am wrecked. I'm not going to lie. Down the bottom there is the mouse, aka WestHamOnline. WestHamOnline, you've got an AWOL on Twitter, mate. I will say that, but you know, we'll talk about it in a minute.
Have you got as much time on my hands at the moment?
He's got a bird, hasn't he? He's got a bird.
No, I haven't.
Well, you have, mate.
I thought you did that. I was like, Alf.
Alf is pulling birds, mate. Is that what I mean? Like everyone else is pulling pints. To my right is Mitch, also, and also Clive will be here after he's washed Thomas Souček's headband. Lads, how are we all doing? How are we all feeling towards another 6 days to go until we know where we're at with West Ham?
You said it'd be in 2 minutes. I'm feeling. I feel really relaxed in terms of the season now. I don't feel nervous for the game. Even though, like, at work, there's loads of like Spurs fans and Arsenal fans talking to me, giving me a bit of stick, no matter what the result is. So I'm excited more than anything for the game. I'm not really nervous. I don't get nervous, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm very excited.
Good man. Good man. The Santi-bound West Ham online. What you say?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a victory. Now, I think it might be a victory for the Smilers. Obviously, there's going to be big fans out there like Mitch himself. And I hope that everyone out there has a great time. However, what I will say is, if we lose, I think as a fan base, we should remain calm.
No.
You can't say that. It's absolute bollocks. In this city, you know what I've learned? And respect over the season, we keep saying into games, this game's a nothing game, we don't matter anything. And then after the game, we lose like 3-0. Everyone's like, this is a disgrace. This is a fucking joke. Worst performance ever. But the thing is, you don't know because, like in those games, for example, earlier in the season, where we're saying this is a nothing game, it's a free hit, but then we lose 5-0 and we look terrible.
Yeah,
you know, then you can't just let it go because it could have a knock-on effect. So it's like, if Cresswell would say he has another howler and he gives away a red card or penalty, then that's twice in a year. Then it's sackable really. So anything can happen and anything goes because this is the biggest game of the year. So if players don't perform, then they deserve loads of criticism because this is the biggest game where you have to turn up.
I mean, remain calm in the city of Prague. Respect the great city of Prague.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the game.
Well,
let's just hope the Fiorentina fans though, because their lot ain't going to be respectful.
Yeah, I hear that. Right, let's talk about this season, Premier League wise. Obviously, as he makes an appearance. I'll wait for him to sort his camera out. That's Clivus. Basically, let's talk about this season. Alf, give me your assessment of this season, mate, of how you see it from sort of a Premier League point.
Transition season.
Oh, don't give it all that. Don't give it all that. I knew you were going to wind me up to that. Fucking do it. Transition. Go on.
I think what Antonio said was bang on the money. I think we were trying to push for top 4 by changing the dynamics of the squad and the way we play, but we forgot what made us a great side, and that was players like Souček and Soufal, who, although they aren't good on the ball, they're crucial to the way we play. And I think this season's been important. If Moyes is to stay, I think this season was a necessary one and a transition into what is going to happen next year. And we've learned what
that's bollocks.
That is absolute fucking bollocks, Alvin. You know it's bollocks.
We've learned what we're good at and what we're bad at, and now we can adapt in a.
But you'll just take what Antonio said and run in with it. But it's not. Antonio is a fucking retard. He is. He is. I listened to what he said on the podcast yesterday.
Brentford Dorman.
You know what? Like, he's a nice bloke, but he really ain't all that up there.
Right.
He kind of like some things he talks well because he's a professional footballer. You will because there's certain things you will know, but there's other things he's absolutely clueless. So-
Will you not at least respect the transition?
It's
Yeah,
not
but-
a transition because it's
It
basically
ain't
going
a-
back to the way we were playing with better players,
Transition
and
back.
hopefully next season going with better players. It's not really
Alf.
a
A
transition. It's
reverse
just
transition.
pardon.
A reverse transition, then.
Yeah,
Just
so like a reversal.
Yeah.
I knew Alfie was going to troll me tonight, but
No,
I just
it was
can't
just
handle it.
necessary.
I just can't handle it anymore.
It was
The problem with
necessary.
Moyes, and like say, oh, but he was trying saying out this season, was that he tried it for too long, Alf, and we know that. We kept saying, why is he playing like this? He's playing more direct. We're doing certain things. It
He
don't
was-
make sense.
He
And
was
we were
trying
analysing it
to.
for ages, and we said he's far too stubborn, and he didn't change it until like February
Was he
time.
I don't know if it was stubborn. I think he was just trying to transition, which is what we as a squad wanted to do, and the players wanted.
Can't you
Go on.
argue that perhaps even the players were being selfish about it? I mean, if you listen to the way Antonio talks about it, you could actually argue that everyone wanted to or invested in that way, not necessarily just the manager.
And
It's not a transitional
Would
season.
you
Alfie.
agree, Clive, that players like Souček were forgotten in the sense of what made them so crucial to this side? We were trying to transition away from those sort of profiles.
Yes, 100%.
But this is the thing. But Moyes
because
still
how I
tried
see it,
to
if you
play
look
him.
at-
He
No,
still
no,
played
no.
Souček
If you-
in this
if-
style of play.
Yes, he did. Yes, and admittedly, should Souček have been subbed at one point in the season? Yes, 100%. I'm not going to shy away or deny
And we were
that.
saying this, but he stuck with him
Yes,
in a position style of play, which didn't make sense.
Yes,
Agree.
but I think the difference is if you look at Souček in the season that he scored a lot of goals, he was allowed to attack. Declan Rice was given the free reign of attacking,
Good
which
point.
we now know that Souček isn't as good at the defensive prowess where he would be left alone on. We now know that.
But
But in the
not
second
now.
half of the
We
season,
fucking
he
you
has
could
done
have told me.
well.
I could have
Good
told you this 2
dialogue.
years ago.
Good
It's only
dialogue.
7 minutes. It's only 7 minutes into this video, and already I've got people talking bollocks, mate. Fucking 100%. Right?
No,
How is it?
It's not that.
How is it a transitional season when we've improved the side, but it's a transitional season? When next season we're going to lose Declan Rice. What is next season a transitional season or not?
No,
Yes.
Every
it
season
will-
transition
it will
season.
be
It's
a
No,
hard
no,
bollocks.
no, no.
transition.
It depends on the situation. Like how I see it is the next 2 seasons could be transitional depending on the situation. If David Moyes stays,
Every
but
season
isn't
is transitional. What the fuck does it mean?
No, because transitional can be varied, right? So transitional would be on the dependence of the following. We sell Declan Rice, but we keep David Moyes, but we don't offer him a new contract. David Moyes can't do fuck all with what we sell from Declan Rice. That's a fact, because there's no guarantee that David Moyes will be there after the next 12 months, because his contract ends in the next 12 months.
But-
So therefore, you'd
but
have 2
Clive,
years
would
of
you agree?
transitions.
Would you
Go on.
agree that maybe, just maybe, if at the start of the season people said 14th in a cup final, we would put our thumbs up. Maybe Moyes is a victim of his own success.
No, we didn't say
Yes,
that.
no,
If we went back
no,
to the start of
no,
the season,
he
we were
is-
quite
he is-
50-50 on it.
Yeah,
No,
it
he
was
is actually
50-50.
a
Yeah.
victim of his. He is actually a victim of his success because, and I don't think Moyes should have stayed past the World Cup, and I'll tell you why. At that point, if you based it on results, which is what most managers are based on, is their results. Should he have been sacked by the World Cup? Yes, 100%.
100%.
Was he given
Yeah.
time? Yeah, was he given time based on the previous European performance? Yes, he was. However, if you actually look at how many points we finished on last season, which got us 7th place, look where that would have put us in the Premier League table this season.
Please.
Spoiler alert: 10th place, not 7th.
What Steve Bell says there is
I
absolutely
don't get
spot
I
on the
don't get
money.
what Steve means. That would have
Yeah,
just been
what
a
it-
slightly,
It doesn't
a
make
slightly
sense.
quicker
It
transition.
makes perfect sense
No.
because what
No,
you're
it
saying is because it's a flop season. Yeah,
It's not.
it's
No,
a
accident.
it's a transitional season.
No,
No.
it's not
No,
a flop.
no.
It's an
It's
accident.
not a flop season. Because no, I'll tell you why it's not a flop season. We would have finished 10th if we had the exact same amount of points as we had last season. Yes or no?
No.
Yes is the yes. Because if we had last season,
No.
last Yes.
Go on.
Last
Go.
season, we finished on 56 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That is 2 more points than what Fulham have finished on, if I'm not mistaken.
But
That
Clive,
puts us in 10th place.
but no, but
10th.
that was a different
That is very
league.
silly.
I agree.
That is very silly to say, Clive. It's a completely different league.
It's not.
It
Yeah,
is.
but
It's
you've
the
got,
same
I think
league.
you've
It's the
got-
Premier League.
I think you've got to say something about the fact that teams are
Go on.
allowed an off day, and I think what's gone on here is
What, 20 defeats this season for West Ham's an off day?
Do
Off
you
season.
know what? You say 20 defeats is bad. Look, we're all about progress, yeah. So I will say 20 defeats is bad. I will agree with you.
it's shocking.
However, if we're looking at progression, yes, would you
Right.
not agree that the last 2 seasons, with the exception of this season, yeah, so the previous 2 before that, we have seen progression,
Yeah.
perhaps a little bit overachieved.
Yeah.
I think it is slightly overachieved because the season
Oh,
prior to that,
massively.
how many defeats did we have? We had 19 defeats. How many points did we have? 39.
This season
Were
we've
we in a
underachieved.
relegation zone? Yes.
Underachieved this season.
Yes. This season
No,
we have
no, this-
slightly underachieved.
It's
Slightly.
been an accident. Come on.
I
let's-
don't
let's
think
No,
it's
look
not
back.
slightly. We've underachieved
No, no,
quite a
no,
bit.
no.
The squad
No,
wise,
no,
we've
no,
got
no,
a better squad than a lot
We've
of teams
slightly
above us.
we've slightly underachieved, and I'll say this why. The first half of the season we had 11 defeats. The second half of the season we've had 9. So it's
Fucking hell, I didn't realise you was good at maths. Like 11 plus 9 is 20. It doesn't
Yeah,
fucking matter. It's fucking quick maths.
right. Hold
What do you
on,
mean?
hold on. But if you
11 plus
actually look at
9. Go on.
if you actually look like from weekday 20 onwards, we've
Right.
actually had harder teams than we had in the first 19 because we had faced a couple of them, not twice or even once, Newcastle, for
Right.
instance, until the second half of the season.
Right.
Regardless of that, my point is on the point of the fact
You're
that
seeing improvement, aren't you, Clive?
yes, the first half of the season, we had a situation where we tried something new. It didn't work. They continued it,
Good point.
and it continued it, to be honest, even at the beginning of the second half of the season.
Yeah, for the
If you
first month,
actually
I'd
look,
say.
yeah. So if you actually look at, say, since we've changed the formation back to what we had done previously, you could actually argue we'd be
We've
not
gone
only in
from
the top
11
half of
to
the
9.
table.
So, but Moyes failed. Right, hold on a minute. I've got to get in here, yeah? So Moyes failed at the start of the season, fucked about with systems that he didn't know what he was doing, and he's only survived because he's gone back to a system that has grinded out results and fighted relegation.
No, disagree.
Tell me where I'm wrong.
All right, I'll tell you where you're wrong. You're wrong on the basis of, yes, he survived, but not on the fact that he's changed it. He's survived on the fact of his previous results in terms of previous seasons. So, look, in my eyes, do I think he should have changed it earlier? Yes, 100%. Did he fail to do so? Yes, he did. However, he's now changed it. He's realised that the new way of changing didn't work. Do I think he was right to change the method? Yes, I do. Because we had one style. That one style was counter-attack. Eventually, you're going to be found out regardless.
It was right to change it, but he changed
Yeah.
a style that we knew was not going to work, and you could see
Great.
it wasn't going to.
No.
But he bought
Or
players for
point
that
me.
new style.
Look
He
at the way we
bought
played.
players
We played.
for that.
Don't
we
all
played
talk
this,
at
we
once.
Played down the wings. We had no runners through the channels. It was just play down the wings and then cut and then pass it into the midfield. It was terrible. It was very one-dimensional. Even though we changed it, it was still awful football.
Yeah,
Mitch,
but
Mitch, let me ask
Yeah.
you. Right, I'll ask Mitch this. Right, Mitch, when you look at West Ham this season as a whole, right, would you say West Ham have gone back to a style where, like, it's just grinding football? Like, it's not good football, is it? Like, let's be honest here.
I don't think that's a
I
fair
think we
question.
could. Yeah, it's a
Right.
tough one to call. Really.
Right. The best way.
We've got
Hold on
better
here.
as the season's gone on, but I want us to play better football next season than what we've done in the second half of the season.
I agree.
Yes.
All right, look
but would you
at Fulham
no,
away.
No. But would you not say that the reason we have ended up in a situation where we've gone, oh, we haven't played that great football is because we'd put ourselves. All right, let's put it this way: if we had changed the formation earlier, back to the previous season,
right,
we probably never would have ended up in a situation where we're fighting relegation. Because we'd started to fight relegation, because it had been late January, and because of the tension, the way the players had set up, even though we were used to in previous seasons playing attacking football, we were more
Right.
prone to making mistakes because there was added pressure. Do you
Right.
not think
But
if perhaps we had done that earlier, without the pressure of relegation, we would have been better off earlier on?
No, I disagree. I totally disagree, and I'll tell you the reason why. He signs players. He's looking at playing 3 at the back, 4 at the back, 5 at the back. He's tried to sign wing backs. None of that's worked. He's gone to 4-3-3. He didn't know how to play Paqueta from the start. Like when we signed Paqueta, he was putting Paqueta as an 8, as a 10. Didn't know, right? I didn't have a clue. Yeah. He stumbles across, and someone said it in a space, and I remember it clear as day. I think it was Kane who said it. Came to him and said, "James, don't worry, West Ham will grind this out." That's what. And then I remember them words.
Yes,
right? And Kane
but
was.
that's the thing. We're having to grind out results because we.
But should we have to grind out results when I look at the likes of Brentford who attack teams? I look at Brighton who attack teams, and West Ham are grinding out 1-0 against Fulham and Southampton.
Again, I don't think that's a fair assumption, because then you're putting into the aspect the backroom staff. Because what Brighton do and what Brentford do is they seek talent that we're not able to seek.
Clive,
that's nothing to do with David Moyes. That's to do with the whole backroom staff.
But do you not think our squad is better than Brentford's?
Yes, on paper. But on paper,
Brighton's,
it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, you don't think our squad's better than Brighton's? West Ham Online.
No, I don't know.
I don't either.
Because I look at Brighton's current team and I see players like Moises Caicedo, Alexis McAllister, Evan Ferguson's another one they've got through the academy, sensational. Mitoma, all 4 players.
I'll tell you what the difference between us and Brighton is.
Recruited for cheap. 4 players there have been recruited for a combined 12 million, and all 4 easily start for us, like easily.
But it's not even that. What James is saying is basically, do we have the better team on paper? Yeah, in terms of individuals, we have better individuals. We don't have a better team.
But isn't that down to David Moyes, the manager of the ship?
No, because Rob Newman came in. Other people have come in. That's the backroom stuff. You might
don't do drugs, people. Don't do drugs. Fuck me. You are chatting some bare bollocks, man.
Moyes really didn't want Skamaka. We wouldn't have signed Skamaka.
No, Moyes is the manager. It's not his duty to scout every single league and every single team. Do you or do you not want Moyes to be looking at the next player, the next team that we're facing? If you're saying no, then yes, okay, cool. Then he should be scouting everyone. But if you want us to lose every week, then fair enough. Fucking hell, like.
But if Moyes told the scouts the criteria of player which he's looking for, which is a play he wanted to play at the start of the season, he would have said, "I want a Skamaka start player who can play the kind of football he wants to play next season."
Let me ask you this question.
So hold on.
Let me ask you this question: Is David Moyes responsible for Danny Ings? Yes or no?
No,
100%.
No,
you know what?
100%.
No one knows.
And I will say it.
The owner.
Hold on. Right. Before we carry on, let's not all shout over each other. That's the first thing, yeah? I will say that quite fucking openly. Danny Ings is a flop. 100%.
Yes. Yeah, but
right. But hold on. Let me land before you start ramming it down my throat. Right? Danny Ings, flop. Yeah, when you've got other players that West Ham could have signed, like Alcaraz, who's up in fucking Manchester City, and you go for Danny Ings, that is an insult. Insult to every fan. Yeah? Panic buyer. You're saying to me about players that we've signed this season, right? I understand what you're saying, but David Moyes had the final say on them players. Doesn't David Moyes run the whole of West Ham? Doesn't David Moyes have the final say on players?
You don't know that, though.
He 100% does.
If Moyes didn't want Ings, we wouldn't.
He wouldn't have exactly that. So what you're saying is basically.
Do you actually truly believe that?
1,000%.
The board would not have bought Ings if Moyes did not want him. 100%.
Agree. 100%.
He may not have wanted him, but that's not to say he didn't want him.
Very true, Mitchell. Very true indeed.
See,
right.
I refuse to believe that in some sense, in the sense of.
I don't, because if this is the manager that wanted to sign Skamaka at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Yes, but no.
No.
Rob
Newman identified him.
They're two different signings. So Skamaka, in my eyes, was with the ability that we would be playing in this new style. Danny Ings was with the ability that we'd be going back to this counter-attack style.
No, Danny Ings was
then.
just a present from Sullivan, which was a terrible one. But that's
what I mean. That's what I mean. Like Danny Ings, time of purchase, when we were starting to consider going back to one at the top, changing back into this original counter-attacking football, which Danny Ings would never ever thrive on. But Skamaka was purchased on the assumption that we would be playing this new style, the same way as Paqueta was signed under the assumption. Everyone in the summer was signed under the assumption that we were going to change style. That's how I see it.
But yet again, I would ask the question where everyone calms down. Was Danny Ings a good signing? And the answer to that is no.
Shocking.
No, but I don't think that's Moyes' fault.
But Moyes has the final say, though, Clive.
That we know of.
No, well, he has the final say. He picks the team. He goes to Rob Newman.
The fact is, anyone can say anything, but no one here knows 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Moyes has the. Are you telling me that David Moyes is going to get undermined by other people?
Yes.
Disagree totally. 100%. He picks the team.
I'll tell you what the answer to this will be. If we win or lose, but David Moyes stays, yeah. If Moyes stays. No. If David Moyes stays and he is not offered a new contract and we make multiple signings for X amount of money, it says exactly who is dealing with the transfers. And spoiler alert, it's David Sullivan.
Now it is, yeah.
Spoiler alert, it's Mitchell Hicks.
Right. Mitch, anything else you want to add on to that before we move on? Clive's literally got into a full-scale inner-city rant. Do you know what I mean? What we're saying? Fucking hell. Do you know what I'm saying? He's fucking doing my fucking Sweden already, mate. He's only been 22 on the fucking stream. Listen, I understand what people are saying. Right. Here's a question for everyone before we move on. Yeah? If he wins it, does he stay for you, Mitch? Yes or no?
He does, yeah.
All right. If he loses it, does he stay?
Yeah, but for me, he would have to show an instant impact next season. He'd have to sign signings which are going to make a change from the get-go. And he's got to make a very good start within the first, say, until the end of October. If we look shit and we're not progressing, then I'd sack him end of October.
WestHamOnline,
everyone.
For me, I think if he loses it, he has to go. There's no middle. It's not. There's no grey in this. Right? Win, you're in. Lose, you're out. Simple as that. I don't think we can't complain about Moyes this season and say about the style of play, and then having next season to continue to do the same style of play that everyone's not happy about.
The reason why is because I've seen a bit more promise in the last, say, 2 months, where I didn't think Moyes would be able to get this out of the players. We've been playing better football.
But with the players that we've got, we shouldn't be grinding out fucking games. That's the one thing I will say.
Grinding that games for the last 2 months, I don't think. I think we've been playing good football.
Southampton 1-0 as a grind. Fulham 1-0, that was a grind. Man United was a good performance.
That was the situation we were in.
But if you carry on next season and continue to do the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same.
I'd give him the first 2 months, 2.5 months.
But
if he has changed,
I don't agree with that, Mitch.
Yeah, because I
think you either. There's no point giving him 2 months, because if we're going to sack him now and give a manager a whole pre-season to bring in his targets, develop a style of play, get used to the squad. There's no point keeping Moyes for 2 months for the hope that
the point is to see if he's changed and to see if the style of play that he wants to play, which if it's the same as he's played in the second half of the season,
I think
it's the
it's
same
too
next
risky.
season with new
Mm.
players, and it does work,
Agree with you, Al.
that's good. But if it doesn't take off straight away, then it shows that Moyes has got a problem that lies deeper, and he should go.
I actually
actually
agree with
think what happens in the final depends on what happens in the situation, because how I see it is it's been a weird season, admittedly, because I mean both Chelsea and Spurs are without European football next season, something that we could potentially offer. We're 90 to 120 minutes away from offering Europa League football, which is huge for a starting point. But I genuinely feel like we could be in a situation where we end up in a lose-lose situation. Say we lose the final, David Moyes stays on for his final 12 months, we lose Declan Rice. David Moyes isn't going to be allowed to spend that money because the ownership are going to be like, you got 12 months left, we're not going to renew your contract. So we're going to end up in a situation next season where it's a transition, regardless whether we like it or not. We could also end up in a situation where, but we could also end up in the situation where we win the Europa Conference, we still lose Rice, and we end up with Moyes, but with no new contract, and he's not allowed to spend the money.
But the difference is with that, just to land on that, if he wins the trophy, he wins us a trophy for the first time in 43 years. Yeah. So I can give him benefit of the doubt for this season if he wins the fucking thing. If he loses
if he wins it,
no,
10-year deal. If he loses, bye-bye.
Drugs. That's what you're on.
But how I see it is if he wins it and we still lose Rice, which is still very, very possible, how can you expect anything out of any manager? It doesn't matter who the fucking manager is. How can you expect anything out of the manager when the mainstay player is gone and we're not able to then re-spend that money? You can't. It's just not possible.
Well, he's had 200 million. Clive, how much do you want to give Moyes for the transition?
No, but I think the whole 200 million is unfair because how I see it is it's 200 million that effectively David Moyes has somewhat earned, because if you actually look at the amount of money the Europa League is, it's a lot of money. The semi-final was a shit ton of money. The fact that we've had a 6th and 7th place finish is a lot of money that he has earned. Necessarily, what is the profit that's actually come from a loan from the ownership? It's probably not a lot, and considering, I don't think
it's still a fair amount. There's a lot of clubs around us and higher than us last season that didn't spend as much.
Calm down, Mitch.
Yeah, but we didn't spend it on a lot of players. I mean, we spent near enough. We spent near enough 60 million on one player. It's not like we bought multiple players. We didn't go, strength of the depth of the squad was more important. We went, we know what we need to do. Just go for one position. Like we literally went for just one position for 60 million. It's not like we did a lot more with the money. If you actually look at everything else, other than the Gued and Skamaka, a lot of the money was just very minimal. I mean, 10, 15 million for Downs, 10, 15 million for Emerson.
For quite a 50 million, but we won't talk about
50,
that.
That 50 million, 35 for Skamaka, 27.5 for Aguerd. So, 3 players, and that's about 130 million gone.
Fucking hell. Are you on? Listen, are you on a maths thing tonight, mate? Or are you fucking adding up, mate? Get your fucking calculator and sit down and shut the fuck up. Keep talking.
Can I answer the question donated by Richard B in the chat?
No, you can't, because you're rambling on and boring the fucking shit out of me, bruv. That's what it is, man. You're boring the shit out of me. But we will move on from that crap season that you say. How do we approach Fiorentina in Prague? Alf, I'm going to start with you. Right? Clive, shut the fuck up and let him finish. Right? WestHamOnline, talk to me. Tell me how we're going to sort of approach this game for you.
If you're talking about approaching a woman called Fiorentina in Prague, then maybe take it up with Clive. He's got good name. Regarding the match, which
how would you do that then, Alf?
Fucking Elfie can't even fucking get it up, mate, for a fucking woman. So shut the fuck up and get on with it, right? Now, land, cunt. Next, you're pissing me off.
Regarding that, which I assume you're talking about,
Right.
we approach them with dignity and we respect them, but we don't respect the point. We must stamp our authority on the game. I think it's a game where we do counter and we do hurt them in transition.
Right.
I've heard that there's a gap between their left back and left centre back, which has been punished a lot this season. So I think that would be good for Bowen and Antonio. And I think it will be a game about hurting them on transition. I reckon we have about 30% possession, 32%. And I think that's what it will be. But if it goes to penalties and I don't see Moyes sub on Fabianski for the pens, he should be sacked on the spot.
I agree. Literally, absolutely spot on. I absolutely agree with you there, 100%. What about you, Mitch?
No, I wouldn't sub on Fabianski. I'd start him. Purely for the fact he'd go to pens. I wouldn't sub on the goalkeeper. It's happened before and it's backfired massively multiple times.
Better than Areola, though, in goal for penalties, Mitch.
But then I would just start Fabianski then now.
You can do, but it's going to rock the boat, isn't it? Let's be real. What about you, Clive? How would you approach this game?
Final. I don't give a fuck about rocking the boat.
I have here a little replica of what we're about to hold. It is very important, but a final can mean anything. I think, realistically, I think when it comes to a final, it doesn't really matter what you've done or achieved this season. It literally is how you take on the game, how you take on the responsibility, how you take on the pressure,
the dignity.
And just the first 10, 15 minutes are going to be so imperative to what's going to end up happening in that game. I think the upside is we've seen the hurt of what happens when you concede early in a semi-final, for instance, against Frankfurt last season. We've seen what can happen, the upfield battle that happens. I think we've learned from that. I think, obviously, the majority of the team have been there for it. They understand it. They know they don't want that hurt again. Now, with a Fiorentina team, there are some people that haven't had that hurt. At the same time, there are some players there that have, they've been around some good European squads. It literally could go either way, but I think the first 15 minutes are going to be huge. I think if you look at how any other final will go, it's always going to be a little bit, let's just see what the other team can give. And I think as long as we can settle into the game, it could swing either way. Both teams, if you actually look at it, they've scored the most goals. They're the top two teams that have scored the highest amount of goals in the Europa Conference League.
Good point.
You would anticipate that both teams are probably going to score. That's probably why a lot of people have said it's going to be 2-1 and whichever way it goes, because both teams know how to score, especially when it comes to this. Both defensively love a good fuck up. We love a good fuck up. They love a good fuck up. We do. Look at the individual mistakes this season. Same with them. I do think this is going to be a tight game. I don't think either team should be underestimated. If you look at Fiorentina, if you look at West Ham domestically, both of the teams domestically, we've both underachieved. We've both underperformed. We've both been shit, to put it nicely.
Who's been both? Well, Fiorentina have been shit. Would have been to two cup finals. Two cup finals, Clive.
Hang on, James. You've just thrown your logic back in your face. So we've had a good season, have we? Because we have reached the cup final as well. Ooh.
We're having a good season because that's why Moyes is doing the fucking job, Alf. Because he's got us to a cup final. Because otherwise,
season then, James.
I think it's only a good season if we win it.
Oh, but Fiorentina had a good season even though they ain't win it.
But Fiorentina have got to 2 cup finals. West Ham have only got to 1.
They lost cup final.
No.
That's quick maths for you fucking hillbillies. Carry on.
So my thing with Fiorentina and getting to the Coppa Italia final, right, is they didn't actually end up taking the Coppa Italia final seriously. And I'd actually like to point out the teams they faced were not difficult. They had Sampdoria, Torino, Ceremonese, or whatever they're called, and they had them twice. The Coppa Italia is completely different to the FA Cup. The FA Cup has 6 rounds before you get to the final.
I wouldn't
roughly.
mind us reaching a Carabao Cup final with not difficult fixtures, but we can't do it.
Yeah,
But didn't we have an easy fixture against Blackburn Rovers
No.
at home?
yeah, but that's the first round. The Coppa Italian to get to the final, right, is 3 games. It took them 2 games to get through Ceremonese or whatever they're fucking called because it's 2 legs.
It took us 2 games to get to Blackburn.
Don't worry. Listen, people. Don't worry. Yeah.
Game.
Clive pronouncing fucking teams is one thing, but the maths will come out in a minute. He'll start fucking adding up some shit. You know what I mean?
Anyways, no. What I actually meant was it took them 3 games to get to the final. 3 games. They had a round of 16, a quarter final.
I knew the numbers were coming. Fucking number 3.
Yeah, 3
Carry on,
games.
Clive.
3 games.
3 games.
3 games. Yeah.
Nice
I'll tell you what the 3 games of the FA Cup give you. Round 3, round 4, round 5. Doesn't even get you to the fucking quarterfinals or the semi-finals, does it? No, it doesn't. It's a completely different kettle of fish. So Fiorentina getting to the Coppa Italia final isn't as credible as you make it seem.
Yeah, but
And even
if
then,
you make
it's
it
still
seem
better than
like
us,
it
though.
is, then
Still
if
better
we
than-
beat them, it sounds better. Oh, they didn't have a bad season, Tottenham fans. They reached the Coppa Italia final and they reached the Conference League final.
Well, we
Yeah,
had
but
this debate about
Fiorentina
Fiorentina going
didn't
like a
even
cup
play-
fight, like a few rounds ahead of us in the Coppa Italia. Does it fucking matter?
It don't
No,
fucking matter.
it doesn't.
How do you approach
also-
them, though, Clive?
How would I approach them?
Which is the question at the bottom, not the.
I mean, it was the question, but to be honest,
Right,
I
girl.
don't think you.
Corey.
Fucking, he's like,
Fucking Corey.
he's like- yeah, that's what you fucking do, isn't it? You know what I mean? Clive,
I think
you're rambling on with fucking
and
numbers,
then
mate.
he just stick his nose right in there like a little fox.
Fucking yeah, he's Mozambique. You know what I'm saying? Listen, right, I'm going to move on. Don't worry about
Go for
Clivus. I'm going to go
I
for
like that
this.
you didn't ask me, but it's all
go
good.
for it.
It's all right, Mitch. Fucking, I can start you off with this, mate. Starting lineup in Prague, Mitch. Right, we're going to all talk about it, all calmly. Right, Clive's going to have a
I read that, as just said. Sick of you, James.
Fuck, everyone's sick of me, mate. You know what I mean? But you know,
Even though we spelled rednap wrong.
yeah, I know. Fucking hell, dyslexic rednap. Fuck me, that's a new one. Right, Areola in goal. Would we all agree on Areola in goal, or is Mitch saying Fabianski?
I'll start
I would
Fabianski.
start Areola just because.
Areola.
You know what? No, I'd start Fab.
Mm.
Because
Would ya?
he's the
Get my
better
logic now.
goalkeeper. I'd start the better goalkeeper in the cup final.
Better
Possibly,
keeper
yeah.
for the cup final. If it goes to pens, he's more reliable. Makes sense.
But I do get why Areola will play because if he doesn't play, he'll be a bit sad because he's played the other games.
I agree.
And do you know what? When people criticise, and Alfie's one for criticising Areola big time, but Areola has helped us get to a semi-final and a final of a competition. Let's be honest.
Ooh.
You could play any keeper there, really. Like,
Do you know what I
He
mean?
done
Because-
well against Sevilla last year. I will say that if he didn't make that big save, we wouldn't have got through. But
yeah,
this
I
year,
rate Areola massively, a lot more than a
this
lot
year
of
in the
people do.
Conference League, he's done nothing to help us. If anything, he made us worse in the semi-final. But
Well,
no,
let's just say-
I'm a stickler for keeping what you want to go through with. So for me, if you don't want to affect the team moral, then
Yeah.
you put Areola as morale. Sorry, the you would continue with who your goalkeeper should be throughout the cup run. For me, that's Areola. End of story.
Right,
For me,
one
the
thing,
final's different. but
yeah.
that's just me.
One thing I'm going to say though, if he does go to penalties, would you? I agree with Alfie. We should sub Fab on. He's a better penalty taker.
Agreed.
He's a better penalty stopper. Sorry, than he's anything. Obviously, I think like Clive agrees. Obviously, online agrees. Mitch, you said no earlier. Why are you saying no for it, man?
No, for what?
For Fabianski's coming on, like you said, it don't work.
I would if Fabiola was starting, but I don't like subbing on goalkeepers for penalties. It's backfired in previous cup finals and semi-finals before, so I don't like it. Fucking A fever, cunts.
Yeah. Well, let's go to left back. That's what we're saying.
Left back.
Creswell, easy.
Cresswell.
Cresswell.
Yeah. Right. The two centre halves probably pick themselves, don't they? Zuma and Agued.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone agree on that?
Yeah, just about gets in for me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
After
Right back.
another mistake against Leicester, the jury's
Right.
out.
Right back's easy for me for two reasons.
Soufal.
Soufal for two reasons. Now, I know he's been away injured and whatnot, but do you know what? The irony is, especially when you look at the attendance, right? We know it's a limited amount. We know it's UEFA heavy. I wouldn't be surprised if you have enough people locally go and watch the game, and that gives Soufal a little bit more of a cheer. I'm all here for Soufal.
Yeah,
Mitch,
absolutely.
what are you saying?
Just Soufal. It's tight for me. I'd say just Soufal.
I'll go Kehrer myself. I think Kehrer's on form, and when players are on form, they got to play at the end of the
And I
day.
agree
On
with
form,
that.
what? Three games is not really on form. Let's be
But
honest.
Soufal, when he
But
played last, I think.
When was the last time? When was the last time Soufal played?
The other day.
It was David Beckham,
but-
was
Yeah, but even then, it wasn't that long ago. He wasn't injured for 3 months or anything. He's been injured for about 4 to 6 weeks.
Well,
Good point.
3 months, 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, so a month and a half. So
Like
Then,
it's a month and a half.
4 to 6 weeks maximum isn't as long as 3 months. 3 months away, and someone can.
And 4 to 6 weeks ain't 3 games for Kehrer, is it?
No, but
Greg.
I don't think Kerr's really been in that position for that long. Like, it's probably
So,
only
yeah.
been
Who
4
has?
weeks.
I see Clive's eyebrows tinted a bit here.
Yeah, I know. It's them a long time ago. Right, midfield. Declan Rice. Declan Rice comes in for midfield, obviously. You know what I mean, the superstar. Lucas Paqueta, I think we all agree he starts. Thomas Souček.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, yes.
Why
You
is it-
kind of have to, because you can't really change. If it's the start of the season, I'd say fuck him up. I'd never see him again. But you can't really change anything at the end of the season.
And you're not
It
going to
just
play
doesn't
that
make sense.
breakdowns.
But yeah, I really hope next season I don't get to see Souček ever again. But I will, unfortunately.
Yeah. Souček starts. Let's go right wing. Jared Bowen. Do you all agree?
Hold on. Why is Souček even a question mark?
It's not
No
a question
comment. Moving over to the right.
Because you want to play Flynn, I do fuck all downs.
Fucking hell, mate. I tell you what, how much is fucking. You got the front to talk about fucking Souček this season, mate. At the start of the season, that man couldn't hit a fucking barn door. But we move on, Climbers.
Tried
Do
his best.
you know what I mean? Fucking hell, mate. You've been playing with Souček's headband, bro, ain't you? 100%. Right,
Hey,
right
look,
wing.
Souček's going to be in Prague. I'm putting money on it now. If you want to put a good bet on, Souček to score.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Well, we will see.
Hard on form.
Online, you saying Bowen, yeah? 100%?
Bowen, yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Mitch? Bowen?
I think I'll play Ben Johnson. I agree with that straight face, fuck's sake. No, I'm going to start
Yeah.
Bowen, yeah.
Bowen, yeah. I think we'll agree on
There's gonna
Bowen.
be a controversial one in this front three. I can feel it.
Antonio?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you say it's controversial, Western Online, but this is where it's going to shock you, mate. I don't think Ben Rama should start in this game.
Wow.
And I'll tell you the reason why. The reason is, I do go on form. Where Clive says it's only 3 games, you know what I mean? You can't judge it after 3 months. Well, it's bollocks, right? Now, Pablo Fornals is a man on form. I will say that. He's got his confidence back. He looks on it. And West Ham are going to have to play a long game here all day long. They're going to have to, yeah, because they're not going to try. If West Ham have got to look for 120 minutes in this game, they can't look at 90 minutes. If this was a 90-minute game, I will play Ben Rama all day long. But I think if you start Pablo Fornals, gets to the 70th minute, bring Ben Rama on, not only have you got an attacking threat coming off the bench, you've also got a penalty taker if it goes to pens.
James, well done. I completely agree with you. Well done, James.
Fucking
Perfectly said.
you
Perfectly
patronising bastard, but I like it.
No,
What
I'm
we
not
also-
being patronising. I'm being serious. I was really impressed.
So tell me what you all think on that
I
one.
completely agree with you. I'm not taking the piss.
I would start Fornals because he's one of our best players
Oh,
And
fuck off.
He is.
No, he's not. That is bollocks.
He's a joy to watch.
Best
And
players. One of our best
lately
players.
he's one of our best players.
You
He's
do talk some
expressed-
pony, West Ham
he's
Online.
one-
You
one of
actually said once on Twitter,
That is, you're
right?
talking bare bungle, Alf.
bare bollocks.
Alf, that is
right?
bollocks, Alf. That is
Right.
absolute bollocks.
Go-
You
on.
actually said on Twitter that Pablo Fornals is better than Lucas Paqueta.
And
Did,
I'm not
did you
backing down.
actually?
He actually
not
did say
backing
that
down
on Twitter,
from
and I literally
absolutely, I did. Yeah.
go on. He's confessing. He's saying Fornals is
Like,
better
did
than
you
Lucas.
actually, Alf?
Yeah, I believe he is.
And you still think he is?
Yeah.
Right, carry on, Alf. What you're saying about what I just said about
Fornals,
Fornals?
if he joined a better club, you really would see how good he is. I think he's one of my. I would say he's the most underrated player in the Premier League. I think he's a superstar.
Alf, you're talking shit.
I'm
No,
not.
I know you're lying.
I'm not.
This could be the worst opinion on E20 Zone TV of
History.
all time.
It's
Yeah.
not. He's
To
a
say
sensation.
Fornals is better than Paqueta.
No. I
Very
didn't. I don't mean he's better. I mean, his football IQ is off the charts for me. Some of the things he does I just think I get why Paqueta's more effective. Obviously, he's skillful, he's powerful, but Fornals' football IQ is off the chart. So I think he's a sensation. I just think he's amazing.
Right, so
Because your IQ's of charts doesn't mean, but you don't have a lot of the attributes which you need in the position where he plays. It's not good enough.
He does.
oh,
Yeah, he does.
It's like because Pep Guardiola's
Pep Guardiola would start
amazing.
Fornals.
He should start a CDM for West Ham.
Pep Guardiola would rather have Fornals than Paqueta, definitely.
Kate is not happy with you, mate. 100%,
That
mate.
is absolute bollocks.
Right.
100,000,000% he would.
Right, so you're telling me, Alf, yeah, you've got to choose. You're the manager of West Ham United. You've got to choose between Fornals or Paqueta. You're choosing Fornals over Paqueta.
West Ham United, I'd choose Paqueta. A bigger club where they keep the ball and it's about keeping things ticking over, football IQ, picking balls up in the pockets. I'm picking Pablo all day of the week.
Yeah, but you can say that about any of our players. Do you know what I'm saying? But
And
okay.
I'd start Fornals definitely on Wednesday, but I wouldn't be against Ben Rama making his appearance off the bench.
Yeah, I actually before I let Clive come in, I actually think it's better that Ben Rama comes off the bench in this game because I think we're going to need something off the bench. I think it's going to be more tighter than people think. If I'm being honest, what you saying, Clive, in regard to Ben Rama Fornals, man?
I'm gonna say Ben Rama starts. Fiorentina. No, hear me out on this. Fiorentina play typically a 4-3-3. I think that allows Ben Rama to play the style he needs to play to provide enough of an attacking threat. If Fiorentina played a different style, then I would want to start Fornals. That's how I see it personally.
It's an interesting one on that. I really is like because Fornals, I must admit, coming from me, he's been on form. He has been on form. He played all right against Leicester. He comes on and scores.
He's played 2 good games. Like I'm not trying to distract that. Yeah.
Yes, I'll tell you what. Tonight's maths is great, mate. This is not a West Ham fan channel. This is maths are us. Because 2, yes, Alf, fucking 2 good games.
Combined, we could go on University Challenge at this rate.
Fucking hell, mate!
I think in Fornals, you're looking at a player who should be, honestly, if his career went the way it should have gone, he should be playing for the likes of Barcelona. And Iniesta said himself that.
Oh fucking hell!
Iniesta said himself.
I can't even back that comment. Sevilla maybe, but I can't back Barcelona.
No, Sevilla.
Sorry, I can't.
Oh, come on, let's be serious now. I think
you're sick in the head, Alf.
Alf is emotionally damaged, mate.
Iniesta said himself that Fornals is the next Iniesta. We've destroyed a great player's career.
Right, Van Nistelrooy said Skamaka's the next best thing.
I was literally just about to say, like, how many of Sir Alex Ferguson's fucking players have gone on to be top
no, I
managers?
trust Iniesta more than you.
Simone
God.
Zaza was tipped to be the next best thing.
No, he won't.
Oh God,
Not
Yes,
by
he
me.
was. Yes, he was.
Not by me,
Yes,
he
he was at the time. He was.
Not by me.
Are
Okay.
you sure, Elf?
Who are you?
Emotional damage.
You are severely emotionally damaged over 4-0, brother, ain't you? Tell the truth.
He should be. Umir's tweeted it once. He said Arsenal should look to sign Fornals where Xhaka plays that sort of position.
Okay,
And I can-
Man United fans don't need to sign
Umir understands football. Man United
Fucking
fans
hell,
don't.
now you're saying he's going to
Player
go
of
to
his
Arsenal.
quality does not drop the stinker performances that he has this season.
Yeah, in positions and roles that don't suit him. Absolutely,
Does not
he
matter.
has.
When you couldn't play simple passes, doesn't matter what position you are. When
No,
you couldn't
it
control the
does.
ball, he
It
was trying to
does.
beat his man when he had no chance. Do you remember the
Wrong.
Everton game, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Everton game was the worst bit of management I've ever seen. He stuck
Okay, but
Fornals
his
on the top.
decision making had nothing to do with Moyes. Was disgraceful.
It was absolutely to do with Moyes. It was everything.
Don't worry,
It was
Holly.
all-
It's just
Oh my
it's
God.
just Alfie
Let's
and
move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
It was
fuck
that
it.
game, that Everton game
More
was
subjects than
shocking.
mastermind on this channel.
move
More
on.
subjects than mastermind.
Let's move on.
Right. Yeah, we're moving on. I mean, Alfie, you do me, brother. Do me.
In
Right.
Fornals, you're looking at
Let's
a
move
player
on.
who
Prediction.
who
I'm going to
should
go for,
be winning
2-2.
World Cups.
and I think it will
Ooh.
go to Pens.
You know what? Right. God. You know what I mean? Fucking Mitch drives me mad on some occasions, but he's always on. He's always got it spot on with my prediction. I must admit, I don't go for 2-2 though. Alf, what are you saying?
2-1 to Fiorentina.
I thought about 2-1 to Fiorentina, but I think there's a bit of heart in us.
I just
I believe.
can't
I don't
see
think we'll
West-
win over 90 minutes. I'm being
I
honest.
can't see the club lifting the trophy. That's all there is to it. I can't envision it.
Fair enough. Clive, please.
It's really a difficult one because I think finals can go either way. A final is completely different to what you've achieved before in the season. But if you look at Fiorentina's team, Sofian Amrabat, if you look at Yuka Jovic, you look at certain players, they've got the European experience, they've got that certain factor about them. I think this doesn't end in 90 minutes. I do agree with Mitch on that. I think in 90 minutes it's 1-1. I do think before penalties could decide anything, I do think the game ends. I think it finishes 2-1. It could go either way. My heart is telling me 2-1 West Ham. My head is telling myself 2-1 Fiorentina, if I'm honest. It could swing either way on the night is I guess what I'm trying to say. I think on the night, over 90 minutes, it's a draw. Over 120 minutes, it's who's got more about them. What team achieves that, I don't know. And in those extra time minutes, those 30 minutes, that's not a lot. I just think Fiorentina could potentially get the edge in terms of my head. In terms of my heart, because obviously being a West Ham supporter and everything, you'd love your own team to do it, wouldn't you? But I just think Fiorentina have got a little bit more about them. A little bit. Just not a lot, but there's something there.
For me, I disagree. 10-day break, lots of rest, lots of preparation. There is no excuses for why West Ham can't win this. Fiorentina play on Sunday, then they've got a 72-hour turnaround. Yes, they do. They play Sunday against Sassuolo away from home. Whether or not any of their top boys play is irrelevant.
They've been resting a lot of their players in the last couple of games, Coppa Italia final included.
Right. So I look at it like this. Right. If we're gonna win this game, I think we could go. If it goes into the latter stages, I think West Ham get it done on penalties. I agree with Mitch. I don't go 2-2, I go 1-1. I agree with you on that. And basically, I look at it like this. West Ham need to score first in this game if they're going to win it. I think if West Ham go 1-0 down, I think it could be a sort of situation where they might buckle. They might the occasion might get to them. No, I hope that don't happen. If West Ham score first, Fiorentina will have to come on to West Ham, and that is perfect for us because then we can counter attack. I don't like the way that we've been playing in regards of setting up and fucking waiting for a team. Just like we're waiting to attack a team when we should be attacking the team anyway.
I get your tune, James, on this.
Well, I'm glad I've got the beat for you, son. Do you know what I'm saying? But that is it. That is it. I think West Ham will get it done in pens.
James,
I don't know why.
James.
Go ahead.
Fiorentina's match against Sassuolo is tomorrow, not later. It's been moved. The chat is right. It's been moved. So their last game is tomorrow.
Clive, you're deluded.
I'm not.
Fair enough. So we're all saying. So let me get this right before I wrap this up because you lot have driven me fucking berserk tonight. I must admit, I've already fucked, and now you've done it to me. Right, Mitch, you're saying West Ham are going to win, yeah, on pens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you agree with me on the penalties, and Alfie and Clive are saying we're going to lose.
I said I'm undecided. Like, my heart thinks we could do it. My head is just unsure. I don't know if that's
anyone on earth.
But I don't know if that's because of previous experience. Like if you look at even the championship final that we had back in 2012, we made such hard work out of it against Blackpool. If you look at the 2006 FA Cup final, Gerrard scoring twice. We're just that team, aren't we? We're just that team that either makes it really hard for ourselves or just fucking fucks it up.
Clive, you're deluded.
We're just that team. We're that team. I'm sorry, but we are. It's what you sign up for.
A bit like this fucking stream. You know what I mean? Fucked up. Right. Anything else that you want to add before you go? And Al, don't keep saying fucking, oh, you're deluded, you fucking prick. Right. Anything else you want to add? Any of you lads talking about? Obviously, Mitch is going. Clive is tagging along. He's got a ticket. Like Clive's a lucky one. He's got a ticket. You know what I mean? So give him abuse. Him. Look, that's a sort of face you want to punch, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh my god.
No wonder he's fucking single, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's a man who's single and like desperate for a sesh.
That is someone. You're gonna judge him by that dance. Jesus.
Well, that's why he's fucking single, bro. Them brass houses in fucking Prague are going to get a battering, mate, and that'll be on Clive's arse, mate, when he gets pegged. Do you know what I mean? 100%.
Let's go to sleep.
It's not my
I'm going to be there sleeping. My bed will be rocking. I'm like
that. Clive, give us that dance again, quick. Clive, do it again. Do it one more time. That dance.
That is a typical. That's definitely a single dance, isn't it? You know what I mean? Anyone who wants to know about a single dance, look at that man. That's the definition of single. I mean, great tan, but no fucking game at all, mate. You know what I mean? At all.
I'm glad
right,
you understand. All I'm
fuck
saying.
It. Yeah, fuck me. His jeans would be round his fucking arse, and he'd be like pants out. You know what I mean? With swag, with the West Ham swag.
You're acting as if I'd be the problem. I think we should be more worried about Lucas. Lucas,
Clive,
the European women. Woo!
Clive, give us. Let me think. Ben Rama's celebration.
Oh no, I can't do that. It's just disrespectful to myself, let alone Ben Rama.
You do know, Alf. Do you know what? If one of our players, right? I'm going to ask you this, yeah. Cresswell, if he scores the winning goal, mate, what a turnaround that would be, wouldn't it? Like full circle.
No, what a turnaround if Souček scores the winner.
Oh, mate. Fucking Souček. Oh. You smell his pants. It's obvious, you know what I mean?
Hey, all I'm saying is if Souček scores the winner, you will never hear the end of it.
I know. But then if Ben
go to one of the brass houses, one of the brothels in Prague, I'm going to look at his bed next to me whilst he's smashing something. And
something.
And he's going to have like some mask, like a Souček mask over her face. And like Clive's just gonna be dribbling all over her while she's doing it. He's like,
You know what? It'd be like.
trying to run it, and then like whilst he's fucking, he'll throw like a football over it. Gone, edit. And it's like,
and then he'd be turning around and saying to the bird, "Call me Suchek, Thomas Suchek, baby."
God.
You know it, right? Are you boys looking forward to Prague? You, Mitchell,
Oh, it's
Clivers?
gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I
can't
can't wait for fucking Monday morning for Mitch to be like, "Oh, you're really short." I just can't wait for that.
are you sure?
Yeah, 5'5", mate.
I fucking knew it. I knew he had little man
No,
syndrome.
I'm not that tall,
No.
but can we appreciate this top?
How tall are you, Clive?
5'5". I wasn't joking.
Fuck you! I'm
Wait,
a
hold
foot
on.
taller than you.
Can I do that? There we go.
Oh my god!
Definitely, mate. He's definitely got little man syndrome. Fucking 100%,
Oh,
mate. You know what I mean?
Hey, little man, but I make up for it elsewhere.
But Clive, I
Oh,
suppose it's good. I
dear.
can carry my shoulders whilst we're like pissed off. I'm like, long that.
Hey,
Just do my
that
shoulders.
saves me the walk home. That saves me the walk home. Go for it.
Clive do Ben
Hey,
Rivers,
mate.
as he said. Come on.
James, someone told you to James fucking stop.
Well, I'll do what I want on my fucking channel, brother. That's 100%. For the piss up when we win. Come on, you irons. Keith, thank you very much, mate. I really do
Stop, mate.
appreciate it.
Get
Do you know what I
alive.
mean? What did you just say, West Ham on that?
I'm joking. I was
You
joking.
fucking want to show
What did
your
you say,
fucking
Al? What did you
eyebrows.
say?
What did you say, Alf?
I said, Keith, get alive.
Alf, I'm going to fucking do you. Alfie Jones, his name is Keith. He lives in Benfleet, right? I can get you his address because it's on his Snapchat, right? Don't worry. You can send the hit squad round for him. Do you know what I'm saying? Right, I'm going to wrap it up there, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure, as it always isn't. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's hope we get a win in Prague, let's be honest. Like, I'm going to be serious now when I say this, yeah? It's the biggest games in 17 years for West Ham, right? Obviously since 2006. And if we go and win
Everything
it,
that's happened tonight, I'm actually most shocked that Clive's only 5'5". Everything. I'm more shocked about him being 5'5" than Alfie saying
Hey.
that full nails.
I did warn you beforehand. I was like, I am short. I did warn you, but I just thought I'd put it out there for
Like,
the airport. at
me and Luke
6:30
will
in
see
the
the
morning.
side, 6'4", and then Clive.
I know he's tall.
Hey, you'd be like,
We're gonna like his dad. We're gonna like hold his hand and that.
you'd be like fucking he's bouncers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, put a pair of fucking glasses on, Clive, mate. It'd be important.
When I chat up some bird, it's just going to be like, oh, you know, I'm a big deal, and I'm just going to have bouncers either side of me, Lucas and fucking Mitch. That's all
Luke,
that
you're
I need.
going to rear like.
Joe, what? I would
Lucas,
piss myself.
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I would piss myself if you chat up a bird, right? And then Mitch just handed you a yellow pages so you could step on it to fucking kiss her. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, take this, Clive, because you need to reach the fucking lips because you're small. You know what I mean? I didn't know you was 5'5" either.
Yeah, man. Fucking, I wasn't built that way. I was built elsewhere.
God dealt you a bad hand, bruv. Do you know what I mean?
I tell you what, God definitely fucking took the piss. He was just like, do you know what would be fucking hilarious? Make you short with short legs, but I'm going to give you a big ass torso. Dickhead.
Fair enough.
What?
Big ass
you're deluded.
torso is what I said. I've got a
Clive,
fucking
you're
long
deluded.
torso. I've got no legs.
Oh, I thought you
I've
said
got no
like
legs.
foreskin. I thought you said then.
Gonna wrap it around some bird's face in fucking time, mate. Fuck me. Anything else that you dads want to add? Obviously on this season,
Well-
obviously everything. E20 as a whole.
I think.
Have you enjoyed?
Do you know what? I think with this season, I think regardless, the fact that we've got a European final is it. I know the season's been shit. There's no denying that, but
Yeah.
we've got a European final. Like I think regardless of the result, what a fucking result it is just to have a European final. Like it's something a lot of the fans have never felt. It's something we've not felt in almost 50 years. It's the biggest fixture we've had since really the 06 FA Cup final. You don't know when the next one's going to come around. And I think it's such a huge experience, regardless if you've got a ticket or not. I think it's just an insane moment that we should all cherish. What?
Just online bit. It's just online bit. Why is there a line on your shoulder, basically? That's what you're trying to
On
say.
your arm. On your arm.
On your arm.
On my
On your
arm.
arm,
Which
yeah.
one? Where?
Left.
Ah,
Your right
Ah.
arm. Yeah.
my right arm. It's just the way the tattoo goes.
No, what lion?
Oh, lion. I'm a Leo. I was born in fucking August.
What date in
Oh,
August
okay.
was you born, Clive?
2nd.
Oh.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Fair
not a basic person that's just like I just want a lion on my arm. Like I'm actually a Leo. So
Is it
there's
Lion
an actual
King?
reason behind. No, I'm a fucking Leo. I'm the king of the jungle. Alfie, if you were in Prague, you would understand.
Mate, you ain't no king of the jungle, mate. You're the fucking junior in the junior section, bro. You're only 5'5", bro.
It's a
He's a
lion in
6
the
foot.
street. He's a small geezer in the streets, but he's a lion in the sheets.
Fucking lying in the sheets, mate.
There we
He can't even reach the fucking bed. What are you on about?
Hey, we're all the same height in bed. We're all the same height. That's all that fucking matters. But no, seriously, on a real, like I think we all should cherish this final, like regardless of the result. I know, obviously, we want to win, but fuck me, what is it? Fucking big deal. Like, it's hard to. Yeah, it's a hard thing to explain. Like, not only that, we're in a season where we could actually take the piss out of Spurs and Chelsea all in one go. We could potentially. We're between 90 to 120 minutes away from football. Of going, we can offer European football, something that Chelsea, who spent 600 million, can't even fucking give, and Spurs, who have got their players of a generation, can't even fucking offer.
I am just
it's kind
itching.
of funny.
I'm just itching, right, to fucking say to a Spurs fan about Mikel Antonio's won more trophies than Harry Kane. Oh,
but that's
cannot
exactly
wait.
what I mean. It's just
If we lose
kind
now,
of funny.
James, I'm clipping that up.
If we lose now, mate, you're sacked.
It's just kind of funny. But like, I genuinely believe, and I'm willing to put money on it. I'm genuinely willing to believe that if we win the Europa Conference final, Declan Rice does not go this summer.
Oh. Right. Anyway, enough delusion. Should we move?
Yes.
Let's wrap it up.
We will wrap it up, Alf. You know what I mean? You've been talking bollocks for the last hour and 7 minutes, for about 4 hours, and your love life and pegging and all that. Do you know what I mean? But I will do the outro, Alf. Don't you worry about it, mate. Fucking fine. Do you know what I mean? I will do it. You don't have to do it, Alf. You know what I mean? You just sit there and just twiddle your thumbs in fucking Benfleet, wherever you are. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. But I will do it, Alf. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Do smash a like on the video. And if you do like this content, please subscribe to the channel. Do you know what I mean? That has been Mitchell. It's good to have Mitchell back on. Hit the notification bell. Go and follow Clive if you want delusional fucking Thomas Souček quotes. Follow Mitchell, you know what I mean? Because he speaks quite a lot of sense. And follow that man down there, WestHamOnline. Because, like, he's got a bird now, and do you know what I mean? He's not allowed out anymore. So, you know, It is what it is. Yeah, I know you got a bird, Alf. You know what I mean? You ain't got to tell us.
Clive. Don't
You know
listen.
what I mean?
Don't listen.
Don't listen to me.
Is it because you got withdrawal symptoms because Mitch has got a bird? Is that what happened?
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's jealous. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Katie, don't worry about it, mate. Mitch is all yours. I mean, Alf is he's a woman stealer. Do you know what I mean? Take it easy. Peace.
There it is. I've never found a love like this.